right, let's do a movie review, and then we'll get into the news. Speed run the news if we have to. So it's the scary season, end of the scary season. So let's properly end the scary season with a crappy, like terrible horror movie. And it's not gory, so you could watch this, EK. Sorry, it's not as good as Friday the 13th, but there's no gore. There's nothing really too scary about it. How can I put this? It is the most killable group of idiots staying in the most stalkable house ever. All right, and they spared no expense on the budget. It must have been like $2,000 to shoot this entire film. And so, it's a story about these kids, like New York kids, obviously rich kids if you're living in New York, and they're taking a trip out to the country. They got their aunt somewhere out, and it's always in the middle of nowhere, no cell service and all that stuff like that. Apparently, like 1 day drive from New York City is somewhere without cell service. I guess that's possible. Anyway. And so they go into this vacation home to celebrate a birthday, one of their friends, their 21st birthday. They're going to party, just a bunch of teenagers having fun. But on the way, this van stalks them. It's a real joyride kind of vibe, which is another horror movie, a better horror movie that they ripped off. And it's stalking them. And there's always that jackass in some of these movies nowadays where it's like, I got a real expensive camera, so I'm going to put it in everyone's face. It's even like the Paranormal Activity movies where like there's so much screen time wasted on get that out of my face. Stuff with the camera, stuff like that. It's like so much of it. Because if you do like a reality thing, if you're in like a dangerous situation, it's like this guy's stalking us, get the freaking camera out of my face. And the cameraman in every one of these things, he's always real interested in the art, real interested in the craft, and you're just like, you're clear. If you want to be a documentarian, that means you have absolutely no imagination, and that's why this movie is terrible. It's because it was written, directed probably by a documentarian, because it's terrible. All right, and so these kids, they have like no compass, they have like one map, and they have to like pool their intelligence in order to figure it out. And that's just to get to the place they're going to. But at the same time, they're getting stalked by this van. All right. And so they finally get to the house and like, yay, we're at the house. But the power's not working. There's a creepy knock at the door. Who is it? It's Aunt Gail. Aunt Gail shows up. Hey, we had some work done. And so we forgot to turn the power back on. So I got to go turn the power back on for you. Boom, the lights come back on. Yay. Hey, Aunt Gail, how come there's not a single set of curtains in this entire house? There is not one set of curtains. Look at all these windows, Aunt Gail. How come there's not one set of curtains in this entire house? Well, it's a winter home. Well, it's not always winter. Curtains are good even in winter. All right. But apparently this is the most stupid group of teenagers I've ever seen. No weapons, no compass, no real brains between them. You got 3 kind of cute chicks and their 2 beta male friends. All right. And they're getting stalked by this van. And then they get to the house, right? And then hey, it's a birthday party. They have a birthday party and they have some drinks and they have some fun. And the next day they're like, hey, let's go down and do some spelunking. I know this cave system down there. I got these great big lights. Let's go find these caves and explore them. And they talk everybody into going. And then they get lost in the woods in the second act. They get lost in the woods. And then you're all of a sudden, oh, they're stealing from Blair Witch Project. Now they're just arguing. It's dark. And they're like, what's that over there? Run! And then the end of the second act, they find their house. It seriously felt like a week-long vacation that cost about $2,000. And this is like, it's like, oh, we need something for the second act. Let's do Blair Witch Project. Let's go wander around the woods and film ourselves getting angry with each other. And then that came back to like a VHS / Joyride ending where in the third act where the guy who was in the van shows up again and leaves a VHS tape at the door and they watch it and he's clearly been stalking and then blah, blah, blah. It is terrible. It is terrible. And it's not even the acting. The acting is okay. I understand these, amateurs and so forth. And even the directing is okay. The cinematography is okay. But the plot is absurd and like seems hastily slapped together. And when stuff like that happens, it pulls you out of it. I understand that you understand I can watch a movie where there's this guy who haunts people's dreams. Okay. It can make it manifest in real life. I can buy the logic of that. But when the first act is, oh, this is very similar to Joyride, and then all of a sudden we stop the Joyride plot. Now we're going to do a Blair Witch plot. Now we're going to forget the Blair Witch plot. And we're going back to the original, you know. But we're going to throw some VHS in it. It's like, you know, it just takes you out of it because I could see the horrible writing. I could see it. It's almost like when they're talking, I can hear the grammatical, not the grammatical, the punctuation errors in the script. You know what I mean? So when it comes to Evil Things, 2009 movie, I don't do this often, but it deserves 1 of 13 stars. The evil things are what this director and writer are doing to you as you watch the movie. Those are the real evil things.